Hi, I'm AJ, and you know it's Tuesday when Jeremy's not here. Alright, welcome back to Extraordinary Times. Sorry Jeremy's not here. His ride kind of got busy with oil changes and tire changes and all of that, so really not his fault. But here we go. First story of the day. Throwback to the Tesla museum thing, where we're trying to raise money to build a GD Tesla museum. Well, as of right now, the oatmeal has raised $882,373 of their $850,000 goal. And they still have 39 days left. Awesome! Yes, it's getting done. As we've said before, the state of New York will be doubling this amount, so the eventual amount will be over $1.7 million. And this really needs to happen. If you don't know anything about Nikola Tesla, check him out down below. He is one of the greatest men that has possibly ever lived and has left a bigger mark on history than any other person I've heard of that, well, not too many people have heard of. Fortunately, this is now getting up and off the ground, and more people get to know about him. And for our next story, sorry, we've got a bit of a correction on one of our stories from yesterday. Tony Scott, who we reported on his suicide death, we reported originally that he had brain cancer, inoperable, and that is probably the reason why he jumped off of a bridge. Turns out that was actually a story from ABC, and they've done it to us again. There is actually no proof or any word at all that he did have brain cancer. In fact, their source is non-existent. Unfortunately, a bunch of people grabbed on this. This is something we wanted to believe, that this is why he would do something so horrendous to his family, and yet it's not true. So really we're left once again as to why. And back to Mars, because, well, I can't really stand anything depressing for too long. Actually, not talking about the Curiosity this time. NASA is actually already planning their next mission to Mars. Still not manned, darn it. But the next one, as already planned for 2016 for launch, is going to be called InSight. What they're going to be doing is actually testing for tectonic shifts, which we originally didn't think existed on Mars anymore. The core of any planet is what causes tectonic shifting. And, well, the core we thought of Mars was not spinning anymore. Well, turns out it still is, and causes an earthquake every 1 million years or so. And so nowhere near as bad as here on Earth. But InSight is going to be there to detect any amount of tectonic shifting and any possibility of, anything we might be able to learn from that and help here on Earth. Mars may help us out more than we thought. Back to Earth, to Boston Market, actually, the restaurant chain. They have decided to, well, take the salt shakers off of the tables. This is actually part of a much larger campaign for them to reduce sodium in their food by 15% in the next coming years. But a lot of people are just like, why? Sure, you can take out the sodium in your food, whatever, if you want to just change the taste or just make it healthier. Sure, fine. But why take it off of the tables where people add it themselves? They know what they're doing. Why are you saying people are too stupid to be able to choose whether to put sodium in their food or not? Either way, there's a lot of controversy going on right now. I've never really been to Boston Market, so it's not going to be a big change for me. But if you do, please leave a comment down below and tell me whether you're going to stop going because of this or whether you're just going to have to get up and go get the salt shaker from the counter. Skipping over to Phoenix for the next story. It's summer in Phoenix, if you hadn't noticed. And in the desert of Arizona, it can get up to 112 degrees. So, burning hot. I've actually been out 112-degree dry heat. I don't care if it's dry or humid. It hurts. So there was a Christian-based group, that went out and decided to hand out free water. Figured, it's a nice, unobtrusive way to help people out, show their Christian faith without shoving it in people's faces. Awesome! I am a great supporter of this whole thing of trying to share their beliefs without forcing it on people. Great. except then they were told that they couldn't hand out this free water due to regulations and that they didn't have a permit. Now they are thinking of at least doing a lawsuit against the city for saying this simply because it's against freedom of speech, but as one person says, they really don't care about the lawsuit. In fact, the main person in the story, Dana Crow-Smith, she doesn't really care. It's the whole fact of, why can't you hand out bottles of water to people who need it in 112-degree heat? That's just, it's Good Samaritan stuff. You know, don't Good Samaritan laws cover this? Either way, you know, it's crazy. I really don't know what I would do without those free bottles of water that people give me as I was out in that 112-degree heat. Alright, skipping over to Detroit for some good news for once from us on this show. The Detroit Tigers are having a baseball game coming up soon where they're having a first for the first pitch. Not a celebrity or someone who won a raffle as usual, but a robot which has been built by local high school students, namely the Cyber Young group. Now, the robot has been built just by these kids, set to pitch at a pitcher's speed, and will be caught by the Tigers' mascot, Paws. This is just awesome, seeing students being able to come out and do something like this, especially in a down-and-out area like Detroit is nowadays. It's something to really give people hope in the area. Now, the students are actually doing so great, they said they could have actually pitched from out in the outfield to Paws, but the Tigers said they wanted to protect their mascot and just tone down the speed and tone down the distance just from the pitcher's mound. So guess we'll see how that works out. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, at least here on this Tuesday for Extraordinary Times. If you liked it, like it over here, favorite over here. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe up there. Please watch on YouTube. Share us with your friends, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, whatever you use. That's how we get bigger, that's how we get better, and that's just, it makes us feel good overall. Just remember, always, be aware. I don't even know what to say.